Hello everybody and welcome to week 5 of the ENCDL. This week we're up against the New York Ninetales. Their team is Gouging Fire, Greninja, Alola Ninetales, Torkoal, Jolteon, Galarian Weezing, Quagsire, Deoxys Defense, Dipplin, Tinkaton, and Calyrex. So one thing that's noteworthy is that this Greninja used to be a Landorus incarnate. They drafted it at the beginning. They said, I can't believe nobody took Landorus incarnate. You know we're allowed to use Sheer Force in this league, right? And then everyone else was like, yeah. But like everybody else just had ground types that they wanted. Grifting Gulpin wanted Treads because of its synergy with Iron Valiant. Great type coverage on the two of them. Then also I kind of figured that they intended to take Pincurchin because this was a core that I considered, like, because these two just have great synergies together. Ground Fairy is perfect coverage, and Fairy types also like having a Steel type in the back. And then Pincurchin provides both of them with electric terrain, so it's very powerful. This team has Dugtrio for trapping. This team wanted Quagsire. Collin and I theorized that that's to take away the most powerful water absorber from everybody else, because Quagsire actually kind of 6-0s this team. Like, it's one of the few water absorbers that Thundurus cannot break, which is really funny. This team is kind of all over the place and doesn't really do much of anything, but Crocodile, pretty solid mon. Probably Landorus would be a better pick there. Great Tusk, great removal. This team definitely wanted that one. I wanted Gliscor because I want something with Sustain. This team, they didn't have a ground type at the time, but blah, blah, blah. And then I'm not going to go over the bottom who's, but just basically the teams in front of them were the ones that I was looking at. They said nobody really wanted it. And even still, it now goes unpicked because they dropped it for Greninja. And I can't help but feel like that's partially for me. Because they dropped it right before the start of this week. And yeah, because Greninja, you know, Dark type threatens Golden Go. It resists my Samurott, but I also resist its moves because, you know, we have the same typing. So Water and Dark resists Water and Dark. But the thing is, he'll have Ice Beam on his, and I'll have Sacred Sword on mine. So that's a lot better in my favor. It also helps into Gliscor like a ton. It's one of the, like, I mean, there's Ninetales on this team that can threaten Gliscor, but outside of that, not really anything. And Terra Ice Jolteon. But everything else kind of just sits in front of Gliscor and doesn't do anything. Helps into Serperior with Ice Beam. Helps into Volcarona because it's water type. It's faster than Cyclizar, something to note. It's 122 speed. Cyclizar is only 121. It actually does kind of get beat by Lantern, but I'm not bringing Lantern. Darkspawn actually is okay into it. If I run a Spadef set, spoiler alert, I am. Rodent Fan's okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So this team got a lot of flack in the initial, like, sort of team breakdowns and draft analyses and tier lists and stuff. And that's a lot, in fact, due to the fact that there are 2 weathers on the team. Yeah, sun and hail together, or snow together. It's like, first of all, like, you don't need Ninetales, right? Like, nothing else on this team likes the hail. I guess it's kind of just for Aurora Veil, but I don't think he's even clicked it once. So that's, like, awkward. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing with that. Like, because, like, the thing is, he's like, oh, it's my mascot pick, but, like, why didn't you just take the sun one? Because if you wanted a Ninetales, this team likes sun a whole lot more than it likes hail. So I don't know. People have also talked about his removal, and he's adamant that he has good removal because Torkoal has Rapid Spin, which is good. But then he's also like, well, I have Galarian Weezing, and this is important because people said his removal was lacking, and then he, of his own free will, says, well, I have Galarian Weezing, and that's one of the only Pokemon that can remove hazards in front of Golden Go. So I'm like, thank you for just telling me that for free, because I have Golden Go here. So yeah, I know that he's gonna probably bring Weezing, and it's actually, like, really not that good into my team, I think. But I think it's coming, because he thinks it's good here. But, so, that actually brings me to the team building process that I had. My first idea, and I was very proud of this, was Ability Shield Golden Go, so that he actually can't defog in front of Good as Gold. And then I can stack hazards with Samurott and Gliscor. But ultimately, I think I'd rather have the insurance against Ninetales. So I'm actually running Covert Cloak Golden Go. And that means that I can never be frozen by Samurott or paralyzed by Jolteon, or have my special attack dropped by Moonblast, or be flinched by Dark Pulse, because Dark Pulse is the only move that Ninetales gets that actually does super effective damage to Golden Go. And I can never be burned. I'm not going to stay in on Torkoal, but I can never be burned by Lava Plume. I think the Quag might run Ice Punch or Ice Beam for Gliscor. Or I guess it could just be Surf, but I would probably run Ice Beam. I don't know, though. But yeah, just the fact that Gold can never be... Basically, the matchup, ran some mock battles, and I felt the only way I ever really lose is if Golden Go got frozen by Ninetales Blizzard. So taking that option off the table is really strong, I think. And then ultimately I just decided, hey, I'm just going to take Stealth Rocks off and not have hazards, really, at all, except for, obviously, Ceaseless Edge. There's no reason not to run Ceaseless Edge. So significantly less reliant on hazards this week, because I think he's just going to Tunnel Vision on Galarian and Weezing to remove them. And, hey, you know what? That's fine. I'm fine with that. Go ahead and have Weezing on your team to remove the hazards. I just won't set them, and then you'll just have a Weezing on your team, which does nothing. So the mons that I think he's going to bring, I think 100% Greninja because he picked it up this week. Weezing, I think 100% because he wants it to keep hazards off the field. He's also said that he's not worried about Gliscor because he has an Ice type, a very strong Ice type in Ninetales. So I think it comes to deal with the Gliscor, but like I said, Golden Go can't be frozen, and that means that it's a 100% safe switch in on Ninetales always, which is really, really good. So that's 4 mons. I think he kind of has to bring Gouging because it's got a good matchup into Golden Go, whereas like he's got a couple things here that are good into Gliscor, but nothing for Golden Go yet. Ninetales does have a good matchup into Samurott, which is nice. And then I think, let's see, so is that 4? Yeah, that's 4. I think he probably is forced to bring Quagsire because of my setup mons. Espathra and Volcarona, I think he is forced to bring Quagsire and run Haze on it with Unaware, which means he's also not Water Absorb, which is good for my Samurott. So yeah, I think he has to do that because he has to respect my setup sweepers. Because, well, then again, Collin beat him week 1 with setup Gothitelle, and he just set up the +6 to the point where Stored Power KOs Unaware Quagsire, which is really crazy. And I'd love to try that, but I don't have trapping, unfortunately, so it's a lot harder for me. Well, I guess Collin's the only one with trapping setup mon, because Dugtrio doesn't set up, really. Then he's got 1 slot left. I don't think it's Tinkaton, and if it is, I'm not really worried about it, because Gliscor can come in on Tinkaton always. Goldingo can come in on anything but knockoff. Dipplin, not really worried about. Calyrex, not really worried about. Basically, I think it's going to be one of Torkoal, Jolteon, or Deoxys Defense in that last slot. Deoxys Defense, I think is less likely so because, you know, Ghost type here, Dark type here, Bug type here, probably are very worried about those 3. So you don't bring that. I think Jolteon's a good pick. Nice fast Electric type for Samurott and a nice fast Ice type attack for Gliscor and Superior and everybody else. Torkoal is pretty good into Golden Go, but it actually does not really do very well into Gliscor or Darkspun, which don't know if he's going to respect or not, because Darkspun completely walls Gouging Fire, which is the reason I'm bringing it. So yeah, we can get to the team. This amount of a special attack is just to guarantee that I get the one-shot on Weezing Galar. Let's just put it max special defense, Calm, and then let's put Golden Joe in there. Just guaranteed 1-hit KO, and that's it. Everything else is max Spadef, just to take hits for days from stuff like the Ninetales. Literally no damage. And it probably will be Blizzard. Look, Blizzard 17%. That's insane. That's 110 base power move. Stab. That's crazy. And then we can put in Jolteon as another huge one, because this actually completely walls Jolteon too. Like, how are you walling Jolteon? That's crazy. Because we also can't be paralyzed by Thunderbolt. So it's doing just 35%. And I can also do a little bit of movement, switch to Gliscor on the Thunderbolt, force it to Terra Ice, and now it's dying to make it rain. Possibly, you know, not quite at +1, but it's just dying to make it rain. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. That's kind of the Gliscor. It's actually really strong offensively here into everything except, like, Greninja and Gouging, I suppose. But that's also partially why we have Thunderwave. Because I feel like this could be a similar situation to the Chi-Yu that I thought would happen in week 2. Where I thought Chi-Yu would come in on Goldingo because it's his only mon that resists both Steel and Ghost. So I thought I might be able to get a cheeky Thunderwave on the switch in. I feel like this could be a similar situation where, even though Greninja is not that bulky, I think it could try and come in once or twice on Gold, or I guess just once on Goldingo. And if I can hit it with a Thunderwave, that's probably the biggest threat, like, immediately neutered. So I have that. Also, I think Gouging could come in as well if he predicts Make It Rain, and then a para on that's huge, 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 huge. Next up, we got Gliscor. This one is pretty simple. It's just got Earthquake because Earthquake actually is really strong offensively. Hits Gouging, Greninja can't come in on me because it has to respect the Earthquake. Alola Ninetales takes like 30% in the snow, so it can't do it more than 3 times. Torkoal takes like half. Jolteon probably dies unless it Terra Ices. Weezing takes like half. Quagsire takes like 30%. Tinkaton takes a ton, and this thing can just brawl Tinkaton pretty much because I just protect on the Gigaton Hammer turns, Earthquake the not ones, and then U-turn if I expect it to switch. And I also don't care about losing my item because I'm just Toxic Orb. Once I'm poisoned, that's it. And then I ran Toxic as the last move, basically just in case of, maybe a Shiesty endgame with Gouging Fire, Morning Sun. Big one is Quagsire and Deoxys Defense, though. This gives this a way to beat those 2 mons. Or at least neuter them to the point where I can switch to somebody else and beat them. Like something like Cyclizar. If the Deoxys defense is only Nightshade, I can just switch to Cyclizar and stall. And Quag I can just protect around the ice punches and switch around and stuff. Speaking of Cyclizar, this was the most debated slot on the team. Because back when I had hazards, I actually did Superior first. Because the idea was that Superior always baits Gouging, right? Like, there's no reason... I guess Gouging or Weezing, right? There's no reason for him not to go one of those two, because they are both just so good into Leaf Storm and stuff. But by baiting those, I can knock them off. Basically, if Gouging loses its boots, because I think it is going to be boots, it's so much easier to wear down with hazards. Like, it's actually insane, because Darkspun forces it out every single time. And if it's not boots, it's taking hazards every single time. So I had that. And it also kind of matches up nicely into... I was running the Ice Berry, Yachi Berry, which means that I could live an Ice Beam from Greninja or a Blizzard from Ninetales and then hit them back with a powerful Leaf Storm and potentially one-hit KO them. Well, not Ninetales, but I'd be faster than KO it again the next turn, whereas Greninja would die. As long as it wasn't Protean, it would have to be Battle Bond. But then I decided, no. I put Slacking next because I'm like, Slacking actually just kind of punches a hole in everything. Like, Scarf Slacking, faster than everything, one-shots a lot of stuff. But the problem is I have to get reads right and get, like, the turns right. Because, like, Quagsire, it lives Double Edge, but it dies to Seed Bomb. Ninetales lives Double Edge, but it dies to Heavy Slam. This would take a huge chunk from Earthquake. Galarian Weezing's a fun one because it removes Truant, so even though I'm not one-shotting it with anything, ever, I can always two-shot it, and I get to do that for free because it turns off Truant. So it switches in on me on an Earthquake, let's say, and then I hit it with another one the next turn because I just get to go for 2 moves, which is really fun. But I settled on Cyclizar because I have nothing for his hazards, because this has Spikes and Stealth Rock, this has Toxic Spikes, this has Spikes and Toxic Spikes, and I believe this gets Stealth Rock but not Spikes. So there's actually a decent amount of hazards on this team. Oh, this gets Stealth Rock as well. Decent amount of hazards on this team, and I felt like, even though I don't really expect him to set much hazards, I should have a spinner on the team. But I'm not running boots on like anybody, because I'm not super expecting hazards, but I think I should have a spinner anyway. And this also just has some powerful moves. Draco Meteor does like 60% to gouging, a bulky gouging. Power Whip will one-shot both Greninja and specially defensive Quag, which I feel like it has to be into my team with my Espathra and Volcarona. So that's very strong to have that option to just one-shot it. And Iron Head will one-shot Ninetales and Jolteon outside of... Maybe not Jolteon, but it'll one-shot Ninetales outside of Hail, which is really good. Yes, 76 to 90 is very strong. And I also, with Assault Vest, I live a Terra Blast, which is important. I had Yachi Berry, but then I'm like, no, because this can also go for... this can also go for Moonblast, and I'd rather not rely on him not just clicking Moonblast. So I figured Assault Vest is a nice mid-ground. And then Spin actually makes me faster than Jolteon too, which is really nice. So then I can get the powerful Iron Head off. And if it's taken any amount of chip, like let's say even like a flip turn or something, it'll die. Yeah, even in the snow. Because flip turn does like 50% from this. Next up, we have the Darkspun. Like I said, it just kind of comes in on gouging. If gouging only has Dragon and Fire moves, I just force it out every time. Then I've got Wish Protect to stall around and get my health back. It's also very important that Greninja, we could put Greninja in here versus Darkspun. Look at this. I guess, yeah, Hydro Pump is the strongest move here, but It's doing 61%, and we are getting 56% back every turn. So it's like it would need multiple high rolls. Like, essentially, it would need 2 high rolls in a row. And he also has to play with the 80% accuracy of Hydro Pump. Also, if it's Surf, never 2-shots me, ever. So I can actually just stall Greninja. But then you might be thinking, well, how are you going to make progress if you're just stalling? That's where the item comes into play. Because if it's Life Orb, it is actually just killing itself for me. So that's very nice that I can just bring this guy in on Greninja. Because I expect Greninja to come in on Golden Joe. I can come in on Dark Pulse because it's Dark Resist. And I just make progress on the Greninja for free because he's going to chip himself. So I think that's really strong. Originally I had Covert Cloak on this as well because, like, look at this in versus Jolteon. Like, it's actually not taking much damage at all. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. And then if it's Terra Ice, if I force it Terra Ice, which I can do with Gliscor, takes so much damage from Body Press. The only problem that I had with that was that it's it can start Calm Minding, and that's a little bit scary. So I don't want to leave this guy in on Jolteon for too long. So I figured the leftovers is nice insurance against Hydro Pump Greninja. Next up, we have probably my lead, depending on what I see. Scarf Samurott. And the most important thing is that I really hope he leads either Jolteon or Greninja. Because the thing is, both of those guys would outspeed, and they... well, the Greninja doesn't threaten me, but Jolteon does. So if I'm lead this into Jolteon, kind of expect him to click either Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, which I can flip turn out into Gliscor on that, force Terra Ice, go back to this, and now I'm in, and he's in range of anything. So I get to predict who I think he's going to switch to and go for a move that would hit that thing. Probably it's going to be Weezing, because Weezing also turns off Sharpness, so even Razor Shell's not a 2-hit KO. But in that case, I would just probably set up some spikes or something. I don't know. Or I guess I could flip turn out again, and then send in, like, Golden Go and get momentum. Excuse me. I got hiccups. Yeah, but also if it's Greninja, he might make the same mistake that Boko's did, and go for U-turn, trying to get momentum on my switch. And then I just stay in Sacred Sword and kill him, because I'm faster with Scarf. That's really fun. Last one is Lumina Crash, not Sword Power, Lumina Crash Espathra with Speed Boost. The idea behind this is that I would have to go Timid to be faster than Jolly Gouging Fire. But I need Modest Life Orb Energy Ball to one-shot Greninja is the one that, because it's either Energy Ball or Dazzling Gleam, and Energy Ball is stronger, and Energy Ball also hits and one-shots every Quagsire, even full Spadef, which is really nice. But I have to be modest. So what I've done here is that max speed Rotom, I believe, hits this amount to 298. So I expect his gouging to be 299. Originally I made this 300 and then had this much HP, but then I realized, hey, that's not a good life orb number. So I just brought this down to a good life orb number, and then I put the rest in there. And if I wanted to be fully optimal, I could do this, or something like that, or like this, like 4-4. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to speed creep just a little bit to be safe, because it's better safe than sorry, and I really don't expect 8 defense to make any amount of difference, as long as I got the good life orb number, of course. So the idea is Lumina Crash actually will 2-shot every single mon on this team except for Deoxys Defense and Tinkaton, but I don't really think Tinkaton comes. Like, the idea is you can't switch in Gouging, because the first one is going to do, let's see, Espathra into Gouging. The first one does 47, and then he's, let's just assume max HP Gouging even. The first one does 40, the second one does 80. Like, you can't switch in on that. And then Greninja comes in, dead to Energy Ball, and then, I could probably lower the special attack too, but I don't think I need to. 108. Oh, this is an old Espathra too. I've changed the EVs since I put this in, so I'll have to redo that. Actually, no, I'm just going to be using Calc Dex over here, so it doesn't actually matter. This is just for the video. Then Quagsire, if it's full Spadef, oh, not, it still wants leftovers, of course. Calm, not Cheek Pouch, Calm, 37 into, and this is important, 37 into, whoops, not +2, -2, 75. Like, I don't even have to reveal Energy Ball. I just 2-shot it with Lumina Crash, and then maybe he'll think, okay, well, he would have gone for Energy Ball and Quag if he could, so then he brings in Greninja to resist the Lumina Crash, and then just dies to Energy Ball, so just 2 months for 1. Then last move, Roost. That is to heal off, like, you know, Life Orb damage. Also, I can kind of 1v1 Deoxys defense if we put it in. Deoxys defense. Let's just make it max special defense calm. Because the idea is that, well, I guess if it's knockoff, we then lose our thing, and now he's only doing 30%. If it's Nightshade, then he's just doing 27% always, which means that every other turn I roost, and then I just heal up. And then eventually, over the course of the game, as he stays in, I will have lowered his special defense to -6, and then I'll just kill him with Energy Ball. 2 Energy Balls will kill him, and then I can either stall him out of all of his recovers, or just kill him at some point, is the idea. Or if he's not knockoff, I'll keep my Life Orb, and now this is doing 80, and, like, you can't ever come back from 80%. Like, I'm just making too much progress. Forces him to switch into somebody else. And then his Deoxys also keeps it low, which is really important. So, yeah, this one is actually really strong. And this is the first time it's had a good matchup, because, like, Collin said to me, he's like, how come you haven't brought it yet? It's so good. I'm like, let's see, there's an insane Dark type right there. Here the team is just way faster, even after, like, a speed boost. Because the thing is, I outspeed everything on this team after 1 speed boost. Which is also important, because I needed speed control for that Greninja that he picked up. Is very scary. But like this, I'm not faster than Barraskewda ever, even after, like, 3 speed boosts. Where's my other matchups? Tick Bite, I just did not want it into Darkrai plus Jirachi, because, like, Darkrai is going to eat the, well, actually, Jirachi, I would need Shadow Ball for Jirachi, and I'd need Dazzling Gleam for Darkrai, and then I can't fit Stored Power or Lumina on there. This one, powerful Dark type, and those are all my matches so far, but it's like powerful Dark type, really fast Water type, and a strong Ghost type, and then powerful Dark type. It's like every single team has had a powerful Dark type, and this one does too. But this is a powerful Dark type with a coverage move that actually hits something else on the team as well. So it's like, I feel a lot less bad about teching a coverage move on when it hits other stuff. Whereas, like, this team, I would have to take a coverage move for this, and then I just can't fit Protect and Roost and Calm Mind in the last 3. But yeah, that's the team. Overall, if he brings what I expect him to bring, I think I'm pretty comfortable. Worst case scenario... And I think a big part of that is that all my options that I have with this team are forcing him into specific things. Like, it's forcing the Quagsire, which is, like, not that great, because I'm not bringing any real setup mons. And also, I can just go a spot through it, and he's forced to switch to Quagsire, and I just kill it. This just baits Quagsire to coming in, and then I just kill it. But Quagsire, I think it has to have Recover, and I think it needs to have Haze because of all my setup mons, my 2 setup mons. And then... that only leaves it 2 move slots, so which means it can't fit Hazards and Earthquake and an Ice move or a Water move. So that means it has to give up on either hitting Gholdengo, Gliscor, or setting Hazards. So once I figure out which one it is, like, if I see it use Rocks, I can kind of just safely assume that it's only 1 attack, because it has to have Haze and Recover, because of the way my team is. And same with Gouging, right? If Gouging ever reveals, like, Dragon Dance and Morning Sun, then I can just safely assume that it probably would drop the Dragon move, but then that means I guess it can't hit Cyclizar that strong. And if it shows Dragon Claw and the Fire move, then it can't hit Darkspawn at all. Ninetales, if he switches on... he's always going to switch on Gold, probably. But if he shows Nasty Plot, then I can probably assume that it's Dark Pulse last move, whereas if he shows Aurora Veil, it might not be. Jolteon, I think, is always Terra Blast, Terra Ice, because I think he's going to not expect me to have my Gliscor. I don't know. I've not played against any of these players. At this point, I'm just rambling. Yeah, I don't want to say it's going to be easy, because I don't think it is, but he would have to pull some stuff that I didn't see coming, I think, to beat me, which he could do. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. I'll see you in the battle. All right. Who did that leave? Oh, no Jolteon. Okay, no Jolteon is pretty big. Alright, let's just go with the basic plan of leading Scarf Greninja. Oh, I should have made no... I don't know how the no spectators things works on Showdown. YouTube. Torkoal lead, okay. I'm not sure how the no spectators works. Oh, wait, there is Torkoal. I didn't even see that. I think I'm gonna flip turn off. into Glasgow. Nice. Okay, I'm in a great spot. This is a great spot to be in. Because I can just get Chip on, presumably Ninetales comes in. I might just U-turn out, though. No, I think I will Earthquake, actually. Okay, 42, that's really nice. Oh my god, that just killed. And it's a jetpack. Okay, that means it's not, that. Okay. Attack booster. Let's get this guy in. The overheat I was not expecting at all. Damn, I did not think that would kill me. Raging Fury. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Let's go! I'll body press again. It's probably just gonna be Weezing coming in. If we're being honest. Damn. Oh, Torkoal came in. I'll just body press again. I'm not sure why Weezing isn't coming in. Is it leftovers? Okay, it's not leftovers. Okay. Hard into this. Agility Deoxys defense. That's interesting. I'll ceaseless. Okay, spikes up. This should be Moonblast. I'm going Golden Joe. Freeze Dry. That's actually way better than Moonblast. This should switch. No, Quag actually is the other one. So I'm gonna Thunder Wave. Okay, I missed. I'm glad that I missed that and not something else. All right, there's Torkoal gone. Probably Greninja in. Gouging. Let's get Plushy in. Oh my god, that's strong. I wish I had Gliscor alive. I really wish I had Gliscor alive. That's probably banded. How's the Spother do into it? 50s, that amount, okay. I'll go for the double. Oh my god, I got the double. Nice double. Okay. I'm wishing. Without the thing up, this is not going to kill me. I'll just protect. It's just safest to protect, I think. Because I need this for Greninja, I think. He's down to 11. I'm just going to do this. I don't know how to add Sun to this calc, actually. Oh yeah, Weather Sun. Did 48. It must have had special attack EPs for the overheat to do 71. How did overheat do 71 though? Because we saw it was no offensive item. This says it does 69 min. How did it do 71 to me? Let's figure out what item this is. I don't know why he went to this. He should have just gone Weezing, I think. Because if this is... It's Surf, 49, and Life Orb. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in on this. I have no reason not to stay in on Greninja. He's just gonna Life Orb chip himself. This was the plan for Darkspun. Wish up, nice to full. Great, I'm full HP. Slash-alola. Nice. Okay. And now I go for Thunder Wave. Yeah. I just need to hit this one. Okay, I hit that one. Good, good, good. Oh, it's Lumberry? What? I will just go to this. Ice Beam? Okay. I'll take Chip on the Ninetales, presumably. Or maybe I flip turn out, because it is Weezing coming in. Air Balloon. Okay. Interesting. This should be Haze here. I'm going to Espathra now. Okay. Okay. I'll just Lumina. Ninetales should probably die to Lumina at 50? Yeah, it does 51. Oh, he's Scarf Ninetales. Oh. I didn't think about Scarf Ninetales. I should have just protected. I don't know why I didn't. I get a free Thunder Wave here on somebody. That's probably for the best, in all honesty. Yeah, he didn't want to let somebody else get paralyzed, which is the correct play, I think. This is probably Greninja coming in. 78. Oh, it's Gouging. Can Gouging kill me with Raging Fury? Yes. Darkspawn in. That's fine. I just gotta dodge a crit, is how this comes down, I think. Actually, no, because I can always go Cyclizar after. This has to be Bandit, I think, with the amount that it's doing. I did not mean to protect on that turn. That was a misclick. That was a really bad misclick. I was not paying attention. I misclicked. That fucking sucks. Okay. Sack Cyclizar time. Does Cyclizar live? Maybe. Okay, I do. Okay, that's fine. I just kill, I think. Yeah. Greninja comes in. Yeah, this is actually quite bad. I may have just thrown. 34, okay. Is this a 50-50 here? Yes! Okay. Oh, he didn't realize I was Scarf too. Oh my god, I almost just fucking misclicked and lost the game. Golden Joe in. Oh my god, that was the fucking scariest misclick of my life. I think this is gonna be, weakness policy, so I'm gonna slow it down first. And dead. Nice. Okay. Whew. GG. The misclick on the Darkspawn just really scared me. But I came back. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't get lucky, because I did with the double protect on Gouging to stall the last turn of Sun up here somewhere. So I definitely got lucky on the double protect with Darkspawn. But other than that, I think everything kind of went according to plan. Yeah. So stay tuned next week. We're fighting Charlotte Zards. They are it's the Great Tusk team. They have Corviknight and other stuff. Pretty solid team overall. Quite scary. So stay tuned for that.